screaming to the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Hey, guys. Old Man G here, back again for the final Manchester United's final game of the season. And as you can see, Manchester City 2, Manchester United 1, Manchester United 1, Manchester City 2. It is what it is. City were the better team, and they deserve to win the game. It's as really simple as that, really. I don't know what else there is to say, really. City were the better team. When you look at, I guess, who was available for Manchester United. I think I posted a tweet out and I said that, you just have to look at the bench for Manchester United, and you can see where the problems are. We have we're bringing on Weghorst and Garnacho to try and change a game. There's nothing else to say there. You're bringing on Wout, Weghorst, and Garnacho to try and win you a game of football in a major final, by the way. City fans want to come on. I will post a comment link in the description to get it. Pathetic from De Gea. I mean, yeah, it's Sanjay. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I can't put a single player really, because to be honest, aside from the only players in my mind that had a decent, and I'll say decent performance today, were probably Wan-Bissaka-ish, Fred, maybe Casemiro at a stretch. That's about it. And the thing is, I think what worries me is that those are the players that potentially wanting to move. Like we're readily signing Dallo as a contract, but Wan-Bissaka was arguably our best player, and yet we're wanting to move him on. Okay, Fred, we're potentially wanting to move him on, and people thought Fred. I'm not saying Fred had a great game, but like compared to the disaster class, compared to Eriksen, I'm going to go into a bit, who has been a fraud since he's come back from his injury. No issues to him, but he has been. The players that, and that's the key thing here, is that the players that were in quote good, if there were any good today, are the ones that are not supposedly going to be in the starting 11 going forward. So what does that say about the players that we do have? It's. I don't know. I want to just quickly rant for a second before I just go into your comments. So almost a sad day RDS, but that was a good performance. A couple of players let us down. I can't say it was a good performance, Mo. I can't say it was a good performance. Like our attacking line was trash. I can't remember us even really giving. Okay, yes, there were 2 shots wide from Garnacho and I think Rashford, but like, did we really test Ortega in the net? Not really. Our attacking line was trash. Midfield, we kept on being like, for most of the game, let's keep it a stack. City pressed us. They were more hungry. It looked like they were the more, for me, I think what sad about this game for me the most is that for most of the game, it looked like City wanted it more. Like there was no kind of period in the game where I was like, right, okay, United are trying to maybe the last 5 minutes, but United were trying to kind of push momentum, try and do something, get something in the game. I didn't see that from the United side. Not until maybe the last 5 minutes. That's what was disappointing. That's what was disappointing. I'm not saying we've not had worse performances, but it's like, is it just that we're so used to because one of the things I want to talk about is that City are where they are because they don't accept mediocrity, and they have a far better squad than we do. We're about to hand contracts, and I know it's not Ten Hag's, we're not going to play so because at the end of the day we have poor ownership. And if rumors are to be true, and maybe we'll get Tom on tomorrow, the Ratcliffe is going to offer all the Glaze to stay, and everything is just going to be fine, isn't it? Like, City win the treble this year, and Ratcliffe gets announced as the owner with the Glazers staying. And but it's going to be better because such and such, you'll buy them out sooner. Such and such is going to, no, it's not. No, it's not. I want to be real here. I want to be real here. And the reality is, this is Manchester United's level. Like, I don't want to be this. I don't want to be this down. So I don't want to be this optimist because people say, yes, we've got a trophy. Yes, we've got top 4. But at the end of the day, we didn't do anything dissimilar under Jose Mourinho, to a certain extent under LVG, and even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. We got a 3-year cycle. We do top 4. We do okay. Okay, we might get a trophy here or there. Everyone thinks United's the back. Second season, maybe slightly better, stay the same. Third season, we're awful. And then Winston, the Pete, new manager comes in. That's how it's been for over the last 10 years now. And we sign players on ridiculous contracts because obviously the scouting isn't gonna be the same. We're gonna offer ridiculous wages. We can't ship players off. Like, speaking of which, I frankly have lost patience with Sancho. I don't know I generally don't know what his role in this team is. If I'm perfectly honest, Sancho, when Ahmad comes back, Ahmad starts over Sancho. When Ahmad comes back, Ahmad starts in front of Sancho. Give him 10, 15, I don't care. Ahmad starts over Sancho, in my personal opinion, and see what happens if we're not going to be going in for a right winger. Because we have Anthony, who is average, but it's his first season, so I'm not going to judge him, but he looks like he's injury prone. So we have injury prone Anthony. Obviously, CR7 came back. Like, we literally need to buy probably 2, maybe 3 attackers somehow. And for whatever reason, United link with Mason Mount. What for? To replace Fred? That's our priority this season. That's our priority. Our priority is to get a midfielder to replace Fred. That's our priority. So this is the new level. This is the stand. This is where we are. It's not just of the football. It's like City winning a treble is almost giving me this kind of acceptance now, where maybe over the last couple of years I've lived in delusion. United can come back to some level of greatness, but at the end of the day, United are just going to be like Arsenal Football Club. We are Arsenal Football Club. Any thought that United are going to be close to challenging a title anytime soon, or close to challenging is laughable. It is. And people can say I'm exaggerating or blah blah. It's not. No, but do people think really that we're going to be close to challenging next season? Oh, if we sign, it's always been, if we sign this player, if we get Kane, we get something like that. No, guys, no, it ain't happening. It's not happening, guys. It's not happening. It's not, So it's a good thing, because when it comes to acceptance, you can just start to just enjoy. I don't have any expectations from Manchester United anymore. At the end of the day, maybe I'm going to go against the grain against a lot of other Manchester United football channels, But I'm not going to say that this has been a great season. I think people, because we haven't won a trophy in 5 or 6 years, people say it's been a great season and we won the Carabao Cup. But I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say it's been a terrible season, but I'll say it's been an average season. I don't see anything special about this season. Won a Carabao Cup against a Newcastle side that actually looks far better now than they did when we played them in the final. And we got third place, just about. Okay. But if you look at the key games when I'm thinking, right, United to step up, absolutely humiliated away by our rivals Liverpool and City. If you look at the top major losses in terms of wide losses, the top 4, it's United. 7-0 to Liverpool, 6-3 to City, 4-0 to Brentford. And I think Bournemouth 9-0 to Liverpool. But we're in the top 4. And then against Sevilla, completely capitulation. A team that was battling relegation and is finishing mid-table in La Liga. But I'm supposed to say that I'm supposed to say that because we beat Rome. Maybe my brain, I don't know. But I'm supposed to say this has been a good season. I'm happy that we got top 4, but okay, we go into the Champions League. Okay, and then what? What are you expecting from these players? What are we even expecting from the board to sign? I'm sure we're going to sign players. Maybe you get a goal scorer. Maybe I don't know. I don't know at this point. Personally, for me, I don't think we're going to be getting Harry Kane because I highly doubt Daniel Levy was going to sell Kane. So he never does. He's not going to sign. Let Kane go to a rival. And if we are going to sign Kane, it's going to be something ridiculous, like 150, 160, 80, whatever it is. And so we're going to blow our entire transfer budget on getting Harry Kane. Of course not. He's not coming us for anything under 100 million or whatever. That's not going to happen. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, on the game, like I said, I mean, if it's with some of these. I think one of the hardest issues with this is that some of these mistakes, again, we have seen. Okay, some of these mistakes we've seen again. Apologies for the buffering, guys. I'm sorry. If it stopped buffering a little bit. Some of these mistakes we've seen all season. How many times have I said, against Sevilla, against, I think it was Leeds, so many times we're not switched on from the beginning. People can blame De Gea, and fair enough. Could De Gea do better on the first goal? I don't think so. Second goal probably should do a bit better, but again, the ball is coming through people. So, but are we switched on though? No, we're not switched on. We're not switched on, guys. We're not switched on. So what do you want? What do you? We're not switched on at all. So both goals scored early. 50 was it 2? So was it 52 minutes? That was 6 minutes approximately after the second half started, and 20 seconds after the first half started. Not switched on. Should have done better. Eriksen for me was terrible. He was so bad. You could have made it. You could have made an argument that McTominay should have started potentially, because he didn't track back a help. The whole Bruno on the right thing, didn't really work. The only thing maybe you could have said to change. I mean, it's easy in hindsight, but you say, look, keep Bruno in there. Fred, Casemiro, Bruno. Maybe you drop Bruno's come deep. Let Fred press, which you couldn't do today. We have no one really to press. And you play, Garnacho, Rashford, and Scamcho at this point. I don't know. It's difficult, to be honest. It's really difficult to really know what to change, because again, the lack of personnel on this team was a problem. But United, in fairness, did well to actually just stay in the game. And then obviously we got the penalty, jammy penalty. Let's keep it frank, but it was a penalty handball, 1-1. And you're thinking, okay, let's at least just hold on, be in this game, do a counter attack. We couldn't do that, and we conceded it in 6 minutes. And then after that, I just didn't. I looked at the game. I was like, I just can't see how this team scores unless we get some lucky break. City were the superior side. It is what it is, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know really. I just don't have any. Like I said, I come to comments in a second, guys. I don't want to be completely negative because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're being so negative," or why are you ranting, or is this gonna change anything, or blah blah blah, support the team or stuff like that. But it's just kind of like, at what point does that end? At what point does that end? And this is what I'm saying. Why I'm saying like we're the new Arsenal now. This is where Arsenal. Like our forward players were garbage today, and have been garbage for a while. The reason why we're top 4 in the first place, I'll be honest, is because of our defense. That's why I don't want to go so hard on defense. We should defend. Okay, yeah, fine. But it's our defense that's got not our forward attacking line. Whatever you say about Ronaldo, he scored goals somewhat, and he was a much better number 9 than Wout Weghorst was. Give him that at least. We didn't replace him because the Glazers told us, "Oh yes, we're gonna spend all the money on the summer transfers, blah 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 blah, sale, etc. etc." And at the end of the day, current manager's being screwed over because our current ownership doesn't know whether they want to sell or buy. Like, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It's a joke, and I think that if you want to be real, I just don't see how. I don't know. I don't see, when I look at City and I look at United, I don't see the gap. Is the closest person to close the gap was Klopp and peak Liverpool with Salah and Mane and Firmino. That was the closest. I don't see how this United side. I don't see how we do. Certainly not within one summer transfer window that is going to probably be managed by the Glazers and possibly Jim Radcliffe. Oh, signing 4 players. Okay, what? Mount. Maybe get, I don't know, striker happens there. I don't know. Maybe Kim Min Jae, something, and then it will just work. They'll have depth. Will be able to challenge City. Is nah, guys. It's just not happening. It's not happening. It's not. Let me quickly some comments. Let's do something positive today. I know. I think a part of the emotional bit just comes from the treble. Sir Alex Ferguson is one of the defining things about Manchester United Football Club. So Solskjaer's one of the epicness, the way, the manner in which we won it as well against, and for that to just be gone just like that, especially when we had the opportunity. Like, we had the opportunity. I actually said this. I was like, oh man, you might as well have let Brighton get to the final. At least if Brighton got to the final, Brighton, who actually somewhat decent, may have actually given City more of a chance, because they probably would have played. They probably would have played a bit differently, not having the rival thing in mind, so to speak. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I could. I don't know. Let me just read some comments now, guys. My computer's phone. 96% completion rate from Ortega compared to De Gea's 49%. Yeah, I mean, we know about De Gea's, but like I said, I don't know what you want me to. I don't know what to do. Like, at the end of the day, there is better out there. There's better players that almost Sorry about that, guys. I literally just disappeared. My Wi-Fi has been bricking it right now. I am on holiday, so I apologize. I'm probably going to just turn my camera off for a little bit to hopefully help with the internet bricking all the time. Kind of cut out there for a second. Hopefully, it should be back. Oh, good. Sorry, 1 second. Trying to sort out this stuff for the stream. Sorry about these guys. If you can hear me, my laptop's just messing up right now. So apologies about that, guys. My laptop is kind of messing up right now. Let me just quickly go back to the flow of things. Sorry, I'm gonna probably put my camera for 2 seconds, but yeah, I apologize about that. Nothing's working today, man. Nothing is actually working today. Right. I'm gonna totally I can start that, guys. Right. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. Let's move on. I'll just read some of your comments now. Sancho and Wan-Bissaka, Ericsson. I think so. Sancho. I think Wan-Bissaka was. I don't think Wan-Bissaka was bad. I mean, to be honest, like whatever you said about Wan-Bissaka, like what did Luke Shaw do today? Like I didn't hear any like I didn't hear like I saw our Wan-Bissaka going forward far more than Luke Shaw. Maybe there was an issue of overlap between Luke Shaw and Sancho left. I don't know. But like I did not hear anything from Luke Shaw at all during this game. I didn't. Fred was mediocre too. Yes, but what about our attackers? Like to be honest, like I can't think of anyone really that had an outstanding performance, to be honest. Like what did Rashford do, really? You know? Anwar Bissaka was good, says Mo Wada. Toman says getting rid of De Gea has to be a priority for the club to move forward. Well, the thing is, I'm not going to blame this game on De Gea because it was collectively like a full team thing. What I would say is that I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because at the end of the day, whatever you say about what De Gea did, at the end of the day, it's been our forward line since probably Ronaldo left. That has cost us, because this is the thing. It's like, okay, yes, I'm not saying De Gea isn't good enough, but at the same time, we haven't been scoring enough goals. The reason why we're top 4 is because of our defense. That's it. We barely, aside from spanking Chelsea, but that's nothing to be proud at. We barely score enough goals, and that's on the attackers. Sancho Anonymous says atonement. Yeah, well, I mean, he's been anonymous all season, quite frankly. Big up to Chainsaw for the super chat. Thank you very much, Chainsaw. Big up RDS. Sid Treb was done, and Pep the Goat. Well, to be honest, at this point, can you really deny that now? Can you really deny that? I'll post a link for the I was going to post a link for people to comment on the, but like my whole laptop screen thing is just not working like at all, so I should probably round this up at some point. So I'm being very, very touchy with how the stream is with my stream and stuff. So yeah, if it's stable for a while, then I'll post a link in and get people on to have their thoughts. But what I'll probably do is, when I get a more stable connection, which hopefully will be tomorrow, then we'll do a breakdown tomorrow. But we'll see how things go. But thank you, Chainsaw, for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with it, to be honest. And the biggest issue, City, but this is what's frustrating, is that I don't even think City played that well today. I just think City wanted it more. Manchester City wanted it more, and we made mistakes. That's it. We made unnecessary mistakes. We have to acknowledge how good the City team is. It's not about accepting mediocrity. It took them a long time to reach this level. I'm not saying that we don't have to accept this. Well, it kind of is. Okay, I think you're 50-50. I accept how good this City team is, but the reality is that they didn't get to this level. It's not like Pep Guardiola has improved what's his name, Joe Hart. That's not what happened. No, what happened was they went into summer transfer window and spent 65 million on getting Erling Haaland. That's what happened. And the nature of their squad, that they can do that, so they can have Julian Alvarez, who they poached to get onto their team. So any player who is bang average, so the accepted mediocrity is that we have fundamentally average players who we're begging to stay and offering 350k, 400k a week to stay. I don't see City doing that. Like, it's like they let Sterling and Jesus go. United would be like, oh, no. Because Sterling and Jesus did those moments, let's offer them 350k a week. That's what I mean by accepting mediocrity. So we have to put this in the context. It's not like where like Newcastle or like even Arsenal, where our players are sort of. We've got to put this in the context where a lot of our players are the most expensive players, which have the most expensive wages in the Premier League. And oftentimes, rather than seeing out their contracts, we just renew them like nothing. Like, we're talking about De Gea. De Gea is one. I'm not saying he's poor, saying he's bad, but Manchester United can get better. So why are we renewing his contract? If you want, even if you think about it, even potentially Rashford. Like, and the reality is we spent not that much dissimilar to Manchester City. So I don't know. Don Smokes has posted, yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for a stable sort of connection. I mean, let me know how the connection is and with things going through. If it's stable enough, sort of, then we can then I'll post it. I'm not so upset about the result. No United fan would have predicted. I think what's upsetting to me about it, Solo, more so is the fact that is the lack of fight. Like, aside from maybe Fred, people getting challenges, physical. I just almost like we just accepted it. Can I be angry that this team just seemed to just accept that they were going to lose? Like, I know we can say that City are the better team, but for goodness sake, at least fight. I don't know. Big up big up. So shout out to Solo again from the Man United Gen. Please subscribe to his channel, man. I've seen. Let me post a link. I'm gonna post a link to the streamer in the to the chat. So if the City fans are there, if you want to come on, I'll post it. But if the connection gets a bit laggy, buggy, I might have to kick you guys out, unfortunately, because my connection, as you've probably seen, isn't particularly stable. So I'll post a link to stream link for City fans or United fans if you want to come on. But like I said, if it gets a bit buggy, I might have to kick you guys out. But let me ask this question. Big up, bro. Question for you: how are we going to replace any players when the club have no money? Well, I don't know we don't know about this whole takeover business. And this is the thing. It's like we do have money. We do have money, but I don't know. It's. I'll be honest, and I'm biased. In my opinion, if they announced Sheikh Jazim as a new owner of Manchester United, I could be like, fully taken over everything. I'd be like, right, okay, potentially the future is bright. New ownership, money involved, someone who's a passionate Manchester United fan, clearly, because he keeps on bidding, and has told us the investment in the stadium, the academy, and players, etc. I'm like, you know what? As bad as the situation we're in, there's a future here. But if as the rumors are saying, that's just going to be Radcliffe with the Glazers still staying, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, because they've not said anything. All he said is, I'm going to put the Manchester back in Manchester United, whatever the hell that means. So I don't know. Maybe he makes a statement signing, as they all do, because that's what the Glazers do. They sign a player favorite, gas up the fans, make them forget the horrendous situation that the club is in. And then we come back next season and it's a joke. So I don't know. King Such says, bro, most of our team had injuries. Yes, you're right. But there are two things here. One, it doesn't excuse the lack of fight in the current squad. And two, like, okay, I'll how can I put this? I criticize Ten Hag for playing Martial against Fulham. I criticize Ten Hag for playing Martial against Fulham, because I think that I do think that if Martial would have played slightly differently. So was Martial necessary to play against Fulham? He could have still got injured. I don't know, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, you also have to ask yourself, how is it, despite the amount of money that we've spent, that we have an injury-laden squad? It's one of my arguments as to why I don't actually understand why people want Fred sold. Because Fred, whatever you say about him, Fred is actually one of our fittest players. He doesn't get injured. So, but let's sell Fred. Okay. But he doesn't get injured. But we've got Martial, Sancho, who I don't know, has issues behind the scenes. Ansi looks like he's injury prone. We've got so many injury prone players. So I don't know. I don't know. Eddie, I've seen you back. I'll bring you in 2 seconds. I predicted we would have finished 8th this season. It's a great season for Ten Hag first season. The rebuild will take 3 to. But this is what I'm like. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Solo. How like when I said like this is why we need to accept that we're almost like this is our level and we're Arsenal. Like perpetual rebuilds. Like and to what? Because at the end of the day, when we talk about a rebuild, the whole point of rebuild is that it's bringing you closer to your rivals. The reality is that City and likes of Newcastle, possibly Liverpool, all rivals, they're not gonna be still. So we can get, even if we get better somewhat next season, how much closer does that bring you to City, to potentially Newcastle, to a revamped Liverpool, to maybe a functioning Chelsea, etc. So you're just in a. That's why for me, I'm kind of off the idea of rebuild now, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything in the when in the context of other teams. Because right now the Premier League is about to get more and more competitive now that Newcastle have got that Saudi money, and now that Liverpool look like they're potentially going to revamp the entire midfield with McAllister, etc., etc. I'm not saying that I expect or demand instant success. But what I am saying is that, like, to a certain extent, United fans have got to accept that we are basically Arsenal Football Club. Are we not? Like, whatever, all the banter to Arsenal aside, at the end of the day, at least Arsenal will go into a title race this season, a somewhat close title race, and they won the FA Cup. Was it 2 years ago? I think, which was closer than we'd won a trophy 6 years ago. So really, what if you look at the last 5 years? Aside from the fact that United have finished in the top four more times, the reality is both teams have not really competed for a major trophy. And at least Arsenal have been closer to a title race than we have in the last 10 years. But if I say to United fans, we need to accept Arsenal, I know we're a completely different thing to Arsenal. How different are we to Arsenal Football Club? I don't know. I don't know. Red, stop stop dumping. I posted a link if you're still watching, mate. Post a link if you're still watching. We need to keep things so, and this is a great season from us. I don't know. I'm not saying it's been trash, but I just say it's been average. Like, people wanted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and fair enough, I get it, but did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer lose 7-0 to Liverpool at Anfield? But they harassed him and said it was trash, it was garbage, etc., etc., etc. I'm saying like, we criticize all these previous managers that we've had for different kind of things, but then it's like we just kind of give all the players, the manager, kind of a pass this season because we won the cup. But I don't know. I don't know. I agree it's not a great season, but it's progress. We need to take bigger steps next season. Mount 80 either. I think if I'm honest, guys, it's because I'm sorry, Eddie, I'm going to bring you in a second. I'm just tired of the cycle. I'm tired of the cycle because there's nothing that I've seen from this season that tells me that we're not going to be back to square one in 2 seasons from now. I could be wrong, but if the rumors, the only thing where I think maybe it might is if the ownership changes and if we get the Qataris, then okay, I'm like, you know what, maybe we've got a chance because the ownership will change, and that might be, and that and then suddenly, you can go and get, Kane and all the rest of it, and maybe just like how Newcastle changed under the Saudi. So new ownership, new sporting director, new leadership. So yeah, maybe, but if we're just going to get an ownership model that keeps the Glazers in charge, with Rakitic working alongside those guys, I don't see how we're not in the same situation 2-3 seasons from now. Not because I think Erik ten Hag is a bad manager, but because other teams improve, they improve, and all it takes is a run of bad games, or the wrong signing, and there you go. Ibit says De Gea shocking. Ericsson shocking. True says send the link. I'm posting a link again, just if you're watching True. So if you want to come on, buddy. Sorry, I've been giving my rant. Congo says, I thought we couldn't really do too much more. We are less developed system, had more injuries coming up to the game, worse squad. XG stats, the XG stat. It's the XG. Yes, I know, but at the end of the day, they won the game. I just couldn't, even though we had shots, I still think the City never felt at any point in the game like they weren't under control. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. With De Gea getting the blame, this for me it was a collective team issue. So it's not on De Gea, just solely anyway. Um, guys, if Lukaku somehow stops City from winning a treble, man, if Lukaku somehow stops City winning a treble, I like I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do. I think I'll go do something extreme if Lukaku stops City winning the treble, man. I'm not gonna say I'll shave my head, but I'll do something. I'm going to ask the question: where is the money coming from to replace DG? Fans going to be realistic. Also, who would you get to replace him? I see Don Smoke in the background. I'll bring you in. Actually, with my connection, I think I might bring one of you guys in at a time. I'll see how it is first. So, because I said my connection is not particularly great. Unfortunately, I'm away on holiday in Vietnam. Yeah, see. Yeah, okay. I'm going to ask the question. Okay, so where's the money coming from? If we get the Qatari, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. King Sash again says, bro, both times Varane was just standing in front of Gundogan for both goals. I mean, yeah, I think that you know, Varane certainly could have done better. I also think Eriksen could have done better as well. I don't know why. It's almost like we kind of try to do the same thing again at Old Trafford, where we man marked Haaland and De Bruyne out the game, which we kind of did to a certain extent. But who was picking up Gundogan? Nobody. Strange. Of course, we had to fight, says King Stash. At United, we have to fight. Fight or be forgotten. We did today. Be forgotten history doesn't care about losing. Yeah, exactly. Like they did. For me, the biggest disappointment for me is that, like, yes, I can take the L from City being better. I have an issue with that, but it's just that there was no fight from this team. Like there wasn't. So I don't understand that. Right, I think AD in the chat. All right. My connection is actually really bad. This is why, guys, I might have to bring you guys one at a time because my connection is really bad. They scored 2 goals from the box, some set plays. They had revised exactly. We need to bench Eriksen. Jeez, my connection means Eriksen seen as well. This game showed it. And last comment before I bring the guys in and hopefully try and this connection. Yeah, it's almost bad. It's bad. It's bad. I'm gonna stop screen sharing and I'm gonna bring the guys in now. Let's see. Let's try and do something. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me get rid of that. Right. Okay.
Man like Eddie.
Think you guys hear me?
Wait, man.
Man like Eddie.
Yeah. Don't smoke. Can you just have some mercy, though? Have some mercy, yeah?
Man like Eddie.
You have mercy?
Bro, this is me being merciful, bro. Like,
okay.
How are you doing?
About how am I doing, man? I just say congrats, man, because we were on the preview yesterday, and I tried to come with some fire. Obviously, my players came with nothing.
Why did you come with some fire, man? Why did you come with some fire?
Bro, I mean, we've got destroyers, yeah? I was saying this to Don Smoke and Kelvin, Patrick. We've got players like Fred, who I called the Mosquito. Ten Hag also called him that. Everyone was laughing on the stream. Don Smoke laughing, giggling. Patrick giggling. He's marked De Bruyne out of the game at Old Trafford before. Casemiro, we know we can do slide tackles. Wan-Bissaka slide tackles. I thought we were going to bully you guys. We let you guys play. We stood off you guys.
I think
Even John Stones. I remember John Stones was going through the centre attacking mid. I couldn't believe it.
Bro, you're doing well until you said let. I don't think it was up to you whether we play or not. So you can't say let.
We didn't press you guys, though. Did we press you guys?
So you did. You did. You had 4 at the top. We just bypassed your press, but you guys didn't press us, man.
No, there
You
wasn't.
know what? Yeah,
Not
John
even
Smoke.
John Smoke. It wasn't a good press. Let's be honest.
No,
Like,
no,
I've
no.
seen-
This is
Wait,
what
no,
I was
no,
going
no,
to
no.
say, Smoke.
No,
I
wait,
don't think
Eddie,
you
Eddie.
guys got out of
Pressing,
gear
no, no, no.
too.
Eddie, pressing and pressing well are two different things.
yeah, of course
You
they
did
are. Yeah.
press, you just didn't press well. That's a difference, bro. The thing is, we made your press look shit. My man Ortega had more completed crosses than some of your midfielders, bro. And he had a 96% completion rate. Man like
But Don,
Ortega,
let me
that's
ask you. Can I ask you real
come
quick,
again?
because I know you're going to start cooking. You've got every right to cook. Do you think you guys came out of gear 2 or gear 3?
No.
Exactly.
We
That's what I'm
saying
saying.
it.
We didn't do enough to press you guys.
No, your enough wasn't good enough, like, bro. Like, you tried, bro. You tried, bro. Like, don't feel bad. At the end of the day, this is what you got, bro. Like, this is what you got. Sometimes your best isn't good enough, and it's one of those, bro. Like, don't feel bad.
Well,
Don't
you
feel
think
bad,
that
bro.
was our best? That's the thing. That's what I'm really disappointed about. That was not our
No, the
best.
thing is, we didn't allow you to have those. We didn't allow too much room behind for Rashford to make those runs. So we didn't allow you to get to those chances because you guys didn't have any real clear cut chances. I think only at the end, I think it's at Ortega where the Mac tried to score off a rebound.
Who you calling the Mac? Don't
But
do
somebody,
this. Don't call him the Mac. Don't
the
do
Mac,
this.
where the Mac. I think
Don't-
the Verg attempted and it was one of those 50-50s. I think that's the only clear cut chance you had besides VAR intervening. I knew VAR was always going to come in. Like that's not. I wasn't surprised. Like, I knew the only way you're going to score is through intervention.
You know what? Yeah, I thought we paid the refs when we got that penalty. That was not a pen. I'll be honest. That's the clear cut chance we had. Was that?
No, it's a penalty. It's a penalty.
No, but the thing is, if that's a pen, then Fred's one on De Bruyne was more of a penalty than the other one.
Yeah, I thought we were going to concede.
You see what I'm saying? The thing is, all you ask for is consistency. If you're going to give all of them as pens, if you're going to give soft pens, give them both sides.
No, it's not. That's not soft. They've been doing that all season. Like, I remember there's a specific one for Lindelof for literally the exact same thing against. I know it was Brentford, but it was one of the sort of teams, and I literally said the exact same thing there. I was like, if they're going to give that as handball, and that's going to be the precedent, then teams are going to be beaten in the bush. Are going to be.
On that barometer, then the De Bruyne one is a pen as well.
No, but the point. No, but we're talking about different. We're talking about handball versus like a foul or whatever. So if we're talking
anywhere
about
on the pitch, that's a foul. The thing is that foul
yeah. I'm not saying they could have, like, another referee could have given that, but you'll compare.
It went to VAR, bro. Forget the ref. It went to VAR, and VAR.
Yeah, I know, but the point I'm trying to make is that handball. You guys are making it sound that handball has not been given at all during the Premier League season. It's been given.
But
the thing is, RDS, yeah, we can't dignify other bad decisions. Like, just because other bad decisions have been made for handball.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
this should be a handball as well.
But I'm saying, when I said this, if you watch during the season, Lindelof had handball for the exact same thing, and I said at the time to rival fans, I said, you guys are bantering now. You're saying, oh, United, blah blah, like that. If that's what handball is, it's going to cost teams in the season. No one cared because it was Manchester United. So when this happened, I was like, well, yeah, it's already happened in the Premier League already this season. Like, if your arm is out that way, because according to the rule, it's in an unnatural position, it's going to be a penalty. Unfortunately, I wouldn't give it a penalty because I'm like, what can the defender do? But that's the law. But
yeah,
when you say unnatural,
what could the defender do?
The thing is, when you say unnatural, how else are you going to jump though? That becomes my thing, because then you have to determine what is a natural position when you're off the ground.
I know. That's exactly what I said when the same thing happened to Lindelof at the beginning of the season, and it happened to so many other players as well. So I'm not disagreeing with you. So, but like, no one cared at the time. So it's like, well, the law's going to stay the same. They're going to give it, unfortunately. So, but regardless, at the end of the day, let me just bring on RSV and Nugget Studio. So shout out to RSV, man, and Nuggets. Is that you, Mike?
Yep.
It's
is Michael's on?
Where's Patrick? Where's Patrick? Where's Patrick, man? Patrick's asking for links, man.
Can
Where's
we
Patrick?
leave Patrick, please?
I think he gave up. He gave up. He
And
gave
then we've
up.
already
waiting
got
for
enough
the
smoke
link,
from
bro.
Don
He
Smoke.
gave
We need
No, like he
Yeah,
gave up.
I had a brick
Man, like
connection,
RBS.
so
No,
I had a
RBS
brick-
RBS actually put himself in some cottage just so he can get some bad connection intentionally.
I'm on vacation, Don Smoke. Allow it, man. I need a
No,
vacation
he
after
made
this.
sure he's like, okay. He asked the waitress like, where is the worst reception at this place? Like, go into that room. And he's like, okay,
Yeah,
say no more.
that's the one. Yeah, we did put similar against Brian Fluke Shaw handball or something like that. Yeah, but
Like,
no.
say
It
more.
wasn't even that one. It was the Lindelof one. Honestly, but it's fine. Anyway, yeah, Mike. Before I go to us three, Mike. Yeah, what were your thoughts on, on this whole issue?
You mean the handball?
No, just the game. Just talk about the game in general.
Oh, the game in general. Look, I mean, we all know City's the better team. There's no debate about it. They're going to do this treble, and we just have to admire it because they play the best football. They have the best, one of the best managers of all time, and you just have to say, damn, nobody can stop them. Not Real Madrid, not United, not Inter, not Barca. Nobody can stop this.
Inter can still do it, though. Inter can still do it.
I mean, okay, if Megan Thee Stallion can help out with Lukaku, we'll see what we can do for next Saturday. But I'm really doubting it for Inter, even though they're winning today. But I just look at City, and what's even the more scary part? Haaland has 1 goal in 7 games, and they're still destroying teams. So if he ain't scoring and everybody else is coming up clutch like Gundogan, then that's a scary predicament for a lot of teams around the world. And I think for United, it just shows that still you guys are way off from competing on all fronts. Like, it's good you guys got the Carabao Cup and finished third, and I think that's a testament to how good of a job Ten Hag has done. And if you just look at the squad today, I mean, you guys had to come off the bench. Garnacho, who was a great impact. Weghorst, I don't know what he was doing around there, probably just for appearance and getting some more money. And then McTominay. So your bench was...
Can you talk about Sancho? Can you talk who I'm currently calling Scamcho right now? Can you talk about Sancho?
What do you want to talk about Sancho? The guy couldn't probably even start for #United or SC Dons at this moment. That's how bad he is.
Well, I think Dortmund wouldn't even take him back at this rate, man.
I don't think he would even start at Kaiserslautern or any of these teams, because this is not the player that we saw at Dortmund, who was full of confidence, linking up play with Haaland. The guy looks a shell of himself. He needs to take a long break, or really just... Because, the one thing about Sancho was, he's got good close control. He doesn't even have that. He's got the skills from the cage, playing 5-on-5. He can't do that. We know he doesn't have the greatest amount of pace, but I fear for Sancho, because right now the move is looking really, really bad. And we know if you're doing bad at United, the fans will let you know about it, and social media will let you know about it. And right now, he is, I think, feeling the pressure. And I just look at United's attack, and that's the one thing you guys really need to bolster up in the summer. If you guys don't get a proper striker, and I'm talking about a proper striker like a Kane or Osimhen, I feel like you guys are still going to lack a lot of goal scorers in your team. Like, you have Rashford, and I'm not going to really ridicule Rashford today because he played a striker, and he's not really a striker. I just don't think you give fear to opponents next season. Like, you'll get the 1 goal, and you guys have a great defense, even though you guys got to get rid of De Gea, and I'll stand by that. You can win games 1-0, but if you want to take the next step and compete against City and other teams in Europe, you got to get the forward line bolstered up. I mean, are you going to trust Anthony?
If I'm honest, bro, because obviously this whole takeover thing is a bit of a mess, which is causing problems. But to be honest,
RDS, you know what this takeover reminds me of? It just reminds me of the Fire Festival.
Well, I don't even know that reference, man.
You don't know that it was the Netflix documentary about the guy who was organizing a festival and it was a complete scam.
Oh,
yeah. I remember.
Yeah. That's what this takeover reminds me of. It's just a complete scam, and there's nothing going on really.
It's a scam.
It is a scam.
It's a scam.
Yeah, but go on, RDS.
It's a scam.
That's a great reference, and I hope that's not happening. Obviously, as a man.
Nah, you guys will get new owners. I just don't know which one it will be.
By new owners, they mean like a coalition between Radcliffe and the Glazers staying. So, but I guess it is what it is, isn't it? So, RSV, man, just your thoughts just on the game and how it went down.
Yeah, as Michael said, we still are like many years behind City, man. Like if you look at like the way the club is run, the facilities and like how they do their like scouting and like their recruitment and all that kind of stuff. Like it was very evident today. Like if you look at the bench, and if I'm being honest with you, man, I'm trying to be as humble as possible. I don't really think City even played that well. Like City were like in second and third gear today, man. Because I was kind of expecting a whitewash, bro. Like based on what I saw in the first like 20 minutes, but I did see some fight and some desire from some of our players. Like I thought Fred stepped up today, and I thought even Luke Shaw and some of our other players stepped up. But dude, my God, man, Ericsson was an absolute passenger in that game, dude. He should have not. He should have man-marked Gundogan for both of those goals, man. Like today's game literally showed us that Ericsson cannot be starting for us. Yeah, I don't care if we're going to be playing against the mid-table clubs or teams that are like in the relegation zone next season if they play a low block. But I still think we need to bench Ericsson all the time. I think he would be a great bench player for us.
Honestly, we need.
Eddie.
You could make a case. We need like at least 3 or 4 midfielders. Because people have forgotten that Van der Beek even exists because he's there because of he's injured, but he's actually there. Want to sell Fred and McTominay potentially? Okay, fine. So what? You're left with Casemiro, Bruno, as you said, Ericsson is a bench player. So you need at least 6 midfielders.
Yeah. Oh yes. Real quick though, we don't have enough players that can carry the ball. I don't get why we don't go for ball.
So Eddie, do you want Mount then?
No.
I was just talking to some Man United fans on the stream I was on earlier, Mike. Yeah, and to be linked with Rabiot. Yeah. And
not this again.
These guys, man, especially Rabiot, is so pragmatic. I don't get why we're not linked with Kovacic and Caicedo.
Yeah.
Because Kovacic is coming to City, bro. Like it don't make sense. Like leaving one disaster for another. But man, like Eddie, I told you yesterday, we have bigger fish to fry. So the reason why we
careful, don't smoke. Careful.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. But I told you yesterday. The thing is, we can't exert too much energy on this game when we have a bigger game next week, right? I understand it's a derby.
You up today? You didn't get out of gear 3.
Because the thing is, it's like you can't speed up on a bend, bro. You're gonna crash. You need to get through the bend and then you speed. And United was the bend. Like, yes, I understand we have a fast car. It's a sports car. We get it.
But it should have been the roadblock, bro. It should have been the roadblock, but. Yeah.
Oh, come on, bro. Like, man, like
I don't think we were even a bend. I don't think we even slowed you down. I don't think you guys are even tired after that game.
No, we did slow down because we didn't drive the fastest. Like, bro, like we had to go down to gear 2, right? So we can just maneuver the bend and then Inter. When we see Inter, then now, okay, the game of our lives now. You see, bro, we can't get injured and stuff playing like those guys. Come on, bro. Like,
right,
come on, bro.
Halftime. What's your keynotes, RDS? My keynotes are that I think that United have to accept the level that they are, and that level is quite some distance from Manchester City. And
thank you. Yes.
Yep. I've accepted. I posted it. I've accepted it because, and I've even gone as far as saying that our level is Arsenal Football Club. That's where Manchester United are.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We can't talk about Arsenal, who are playing good football, even though they bottled the title race. They're playing proper football, like. For like 90% of the season, they've been outplaying teams. We have outplayed no one. Maybe apart from like Nottingham Forest at home, we've not done anything. I mean,
we didn't play Chelsea at home, but that's
Carabao Cup and that, yeah. But our football is disgusting a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I don't see why we're linked to Rabiot and Mount. I'm not excited. I want to be excited. That's why I fell in love with the game, not just results and entertainment, man. I don't get this, man. I mean, Ten Hag's got credit in the bank. I'm going to try and trust him.
Is it Ten Hag? Is it Ten Hag or is it the current ownership? Who knows? I don't know at this point.
This is what I'm saying. This is why we need that takeover quick time, because it could be John Murto and whatever things he's been doing. Look at the players we've got over the years. No one can dribble. How have we got? The only dribbler we have is Garnacho. Maybe Rashford a little bit, but he's hot.
What about
We
Wan-Bissaka?
don't have dribblers.
Wan-Bissaka, bro.
Amad Diallo will be back though.
Okay, Don Smoke. See,
Well,
maybe Don Smoke.
Yeah,
can
that's
get
that's
a
true,
pinpoint
Ashley.
right now.
Ahmad
He's just
looks
scrolling.
good.
I'm talking about proper wingers, Don Smoke. Come on, let's be serious.
Wan-Bissaka, bro.
Albert. You know what's worse than this? Potentially worse than this build? It'll be Mount, Ericsson, and McTominay. That's potentially something that you might see if Fred gets sold because Fred's
No,
getting
I'm
sold.
sorry, RDS. If you guys spend
RDS.
more than 50 million on Mason Mount with 1 year left, that is. Ten August got some questions to ask about that.
It's
then.
another Maguire Sanchez situation, man. I don't want to see that happening. Regarding the Mount thing, dude, I've never been this angry since the Brentford defeat. That's how angry I felt once I heard that we were linked with Mount, because Mount's that type of player who will produce one world-class performance in like 5 or 6 games, and obviously instantly the media overhypes him and overpraises him. And like in order to compete with City on all fronts, you need like at least like 3 or 4 technically good midfielders who produce like on average 8 or 9 performances out of 10, bro. Like that is who we need. Like,
I legit don't understand why we didn't go to Brighton at the end of the season and say, here's 150 mil. We're going to take McAllister and Caicedo off your hands. Why
you should have done that.
Can we address what Buffham's saying though, innit? Because I agree with what you're saying, RDS. Why can't we go in for these guys that are progressive? What at Buffham's saying we're dissing potential Rabiot signing. Rabiot is a pragmatic player. He's played under Allegri in a pragmatic team. He's played under Deschamps for France. Pragmatic team. I thought progressive football was what Ten Hag's trying to do with the high press.
Yeah, like De Jong.
So why are we looking at Rabiot? I don't get why we're looking at him.
I think that has to do with the takeover then, Eddie.
Exactly.
The money's not there really.
And also, to be honest, I even putting his program form aside, I don't like Rabiot's entourage mom thing is a problem.
Mama's boy.
I don't want the types of issues like in why are we bringing people were going at Pogba doing the rest of it. We already know that his mom and agent are problems. Why are we bringing potentially a player on 250 to 300k a week when we know that he's going to be a problem? Like it just why do we want to add that to ourselves when there are clearly other midfielders available that don't have that baggage? That for me is
RDS. If we're going to gamble on baggage, I would want that Neymar link to be like more concrete. Then I'd gamble on the prima donna that is Neymar, because at least we know we're going to get skills, we're going to get dribbles, we're going to get some goals and assists. Okay, he's got that technical ability. It's just his temperament. With Rabiot, pragmatic, and his mother is baggage too. What are we doing?
I gotta be honest, Eddie. I'm pretty shocked that United are not linked to more midfielders like a Thuram that Liverpool are, because I think this Thuram guy would be perfect for you guys. But you guys are being linked to Mount and Rabiot. I'm like,
it's not even that, dude. Going from De Jong to Mount and Rabiot is just absolutely laughable, man. Like De Jong is someone perfect that we need. Like
he would be perfect for you guys.
This is what I'm hoping. It's just hype, you know.
Arsenal have more points than we've. So I'm going to go with some comments. Arsenal have had more points than we've had since Alex Ferguson. 81 is the highest total we've had since Fergie. They have 85, and that was that Mourinho, I think, that got us to 81. I think.
Yeah.
So enough said. Elias has obviously made his thoughts known about that. That Rabiot's close to retiring. Now the brain trust is dissing Mason Mount. I just think he's I don't think he's bad. To be honest, I don't think Mason Mount's a bad player. I just think
he's not bad, but
his ball
he's not going to help United take that next step to challenge the City. That's what I think.
And also, he's not worth 70 million.
Yeah, he's not worth 70 million. That's what I mentioned earlier. Like next season, if it's Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno, man, ball retention is going to be absolutely horrendous to watch, dude, especially against the big sides, man.
Guys, it may be worse than the Maguire deal in terms of paying that amount for someone on 1 year left.
Yep.
It could be the structure needs to be booted out, man. How many times are we saying that as Man United fans, RDS? How many times are we moaning about these transfer prices? It's a broken record at this point. I don't know how the Glazers can stay. There's going to be riots soon, surely. Yeah?
Oh, it's going to be World War III.
It should be. And that's why they're probably because I'm expecting an announcement in the next few. I'll probably get Tom on the chat show either tomorrow or the day after, because I suspect there's going to be an announcement coming fairly soon. And I suspect the announcement is going to be not liked by a few people, but we'll see what happens. Did anyone see Avram, by the way? Avram sitting next to Sir Alex Ferguson. Avram
I saw that.
Bro, that made me sick, man. That made me sick seeing that. Yeah. Wait, I think there was a close up in the
that
when I
was
was watching on TV when we scored the penalty. He was clapping next to Fergie. Yeah, I was trying to be happy, but I was like, Avram makes me sick. Yeah, I know I'm not the best looking guy. Yeah, I've got a wide face. Yeah, a bit chubby, but Avram is so ugly. I don't care. I'm saying it. Avram, with all the liver spots and he's balding and he's got the ponytail at the back when he's balding. Who even does that? Yeah. And obviously, it's not about his looks. It's about how parasitic that him and his brother are, and they don't give a shit, do they? Just sitting there. They know no one likes them. They're like just showing up, like they're cool. You guys ain't cool. Did you see the close up on Beckham as well? Yeah, at one point in the game.
Yeah, when he celebrated. Yeah, of course he was. He's like, I got the original treble. I was playing in that squad that got the original treble, and to go from I don't know. We need players that can compete with Gundogan, De Bruyne, Roger, and Silva. I wish I would just go for kudos. Bro, I'd rather Tillemans and Madison. I mean, that's not to be honest, that isn't a bad shout. And I'm not saying they've had a great season, but Madison probably may have given you more today than Ericsson has for the last couple of games. RDS, after his first season, does Ten Hag surpass Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Yes. Yeah. Why do people keep bringing up Ole? Why do we keep hearing of Ole? I don't get it.
Yeah.
This guy has not been able to be having the fluid formation in games. Ten Hag's done that enough in games. Yeah, I've seen it when we started off with 4-2-3-1, which moves to a 4-1-4-1, or moves to 3-4-2-1, which he did against Brighton in the FA Cup. This guy is more of an in-game tactician. Ole just threw people out in the counter-attack and did nothing but like-for-like subs. That's all Ole did. Okay, no trophies for Ole. Ten Hag already won a cup. Why does Ole keep being brought up? I don't get it. Is the sentiment connection still there? Why?
I don't think it's a sentiment connection, but my only defense of Ole is that Ole got a lot of hate from the fan base, and yet I would argue that like some of our worst performances in over the last 10 years were this season. I still have not gotten over. I know Mike said. No. I still have not forgiven the play. And Mike, I know Mike is here. I have not forgiven 7-0 at Anfield. That for me is
let's remember that was. Oh yes, can we remember that we still got players from last season from Ole's tenure?
I know.
The PTSD.
Yeah,
I know.
Ole's set us back for like 3 or 4 years, man. Like by accepting mediocrity.
Yeah, I know. Although I mean, in his defense, I'd argue that at least when you look at his signings, okay, Maguire was crap, but Wan-Bissaka has arguably been has been one of the best tackles, been fairly decent. Who else did he sign? Sancho. Can you really fault Ole? Can you really fault Ole with Sancho, given how he was bust up in the Bundesliga?
I can. RDS, yeah. Let's be straight, yeah, with what happened last season, yeah, because we know what Ole was about, counter-attack, and for some reason he believed he could transfer into playing with possession that people like Ronaldo needed, because he was signed as well. Sancho needed possession. We did not drill any of that in pre-season, yeah. So why did we sign these players when Ole just knows counter-attack? Something happened where Ole may have been overruled, or maybe he thought he could transition from a counter-attack guy into a possession guy. And we saw the most embarrassing season last season. And Ralph Rangnick, I don't know why he took the job on, but he took the baggage. Everything was twisted up. We tried to go for high press. Who does that? Who tries to go from a low-energy counter-attack to a high-energy high press halfway through a season without a pre-season of conditioning? This has mixed up a lot of things. I don't know how we've even won a Carabao Cup and got top 3. So let's talk about Ole. don't talk about Ole because
Exactly,
Ten
man.
Hag has worked some good work this season.
Yeah,
to
I'm
do
And
not.
also, Ole
I'm-
wouldn't have the balls to drop Ronaldo. Like, look how Ten Hag handled the
Yeah.
Ronaldo situation.
That is true. That's true. I'm not. I'm. This is the thing. I'm not trying. I'm not here defending Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a coach and like that. What I'm just trying to say is that, like, at least my argument is that some of the performances of the squads this season were unacceptable, and I think especially 7-0 at Anfield, especially 7-0 Anfield, at the very least for me as a football fan. Even if we are being uploaded, even if I expect you to at the very least try, at a bare minimum, I expect you to try at least. Doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how skilled you are. So when I see a performance like that, and people just like, yeah, well, it is what it is. It's fine. It's okay. Like, it was our first season. It's okay. So it's like, how? And we had 4 of those. We had 7-0, we had 6, we had 4 against Brentford. We completely capitulated against Sevilla. So 1-off is fine, but 4, 5,
And Newcastle.
and Newcastle. So
Yeah.
I can't. So when we have, and again, I'm not saying that this is solely on Ten Hag. Of course not on Ten Hag, because as Deddy rightly said, it's his first season. And he's inherited a lot of players from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, LVG, Mourinho, etc., etc., etc. What I'm saying is I can't say that this has been a good season because a lot of the, at least in my opinion as a fan, the traumatic episodes have been this season, including today, because, you know, the one time where potentially United can potentially stop City winning a treble, we blow it. On top of all the other stuff that's happened of this season. Shout out Carabao Cup, that's fine. But if you want to be honest, bro, if I had to exchange a Carabao Cup and stopping City winning a treble, I would exchange it. I know that sounds. I would.
Go on. Go on.
I was just gonna say that I think it's been a good season for you guys. Not many picked you guys to be in the top 4. You achieved that, so that's at least good progress. And you finally won a trophy. Now, let's be honest. How many years did you guys go without a trophy? 7, 6 years?
5, yeah, about
6.
5 years, 6 years. So
Yeah.
that you have to bring that winning mentality, something that Ole couldn't do, and Ragnick obviously wasn't enough time at Manchester United. You needed to bring the winning mentality back to your club, and Ten Hag is trying to do that. And I'm just looking at some of your players, and you know, obviously, some fan bases they're gonna rate their players and they're gonna big them up. But let's be honest here. Can Wan-Bissaka, he's a very good defender. I fully agree that Wan-Bissaka is a very good one-on-one defender. But where I see Ten Hag is he wants his fullbacks to be involved in the attack. Now, Wan-Bissaka in the attack is nothing really. He'll give you a couple step overs, give you a little dance moves, but that's about it. Defensively, he's good. But I just wonder, like, because obviously the next progress is you're going to dominate games, you're going to dominate the possession, and the fullbacks are just so key when it comes to modern day football that can Wan-Bissaka be that guy? I'm not too sure, but defensively I would not have any problems, and it's been a good season. It's just that you need to have the right recruitment. We see with City, right? City have everything on top. Recruitment, management, players, medical staff, owner, it's all creme de la creme, the best you can get. Well, for other clubs, they have one good section, and the rest is a bit of a discussion mark, right?
Bro,
and
I was just
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, man, Michael. I was just about to mention that, man. I just mentioned about Wan-Bissaka, man. Accepting mediocrity by so many like reactionary fans whenever they like produce like 10 out of 10 world-class performances, getting very carried away is the reason why this club has been set back for many years. Because like obviously I don't tolerate mediocrity. Because if we want to stop accepting mediocrity, we need to get rid of like so many players, man. Like I can't see like even I can only see like at least 3 or 4 starters next season. Because like do you really think Bruno Fernandes would even make it to the C team for Manchester City or Madrid?
No.
And do you think?
No.
And do you think Man City would sign?
Let me say, there's a big reason why these top teams weren't in for Bruno before we signed him.
Exactly. And do you think City would sign? And do you think City would sign Wan-Bissaka in a million years? Absolutely not.
They were linked to Maguire though. To be fair,
That is true. They were linked to Maguire.
To Harry Maguire. They were linked to him, which in
Imagine,
retrospect,
actually, audience, imagine in a world where actually City signed Maguire instead of United. I wonder what would have happened. Actually,
the funny thing is, I actually think he probably would, because the thing is, to be fair, I think at City, like, because Maguire actually isn't that bad on the ball. He's actually not that bad, and I actually think that actually. At City, no, because the thing is, he's not going to be. How many teams actually press City? Not that many.
But so that defensive high line, he's going to get ripped apart. I'm not going to lie, he would get ripped apart.
Maguire. This is what I was going to say, Michael. Michael, we got to stop the bullshit. RDS, really?
At the time, playing a defensive high line.
Would Pep take a slow Maguire, in that high line, bro, where he's got no recovery pace. Yeah.
At the time when playing, they weren't playing that much of a high line. They were playing far more possessive football than they were when we were linked with Harry Maguire. Now, yeah, okay, fine, I agree. He'd be dominated, be destroyed. But to be honest, like they probably would. It's like when I know John Stones is a better centre back, but I don't remember anyone rating John Stones at all when he signed for Manchester City, and still not rating him. And yet this guy somehow has become almost like a progressive midfielder with the way that he's played.
And I mean, you can say the same thing about Luke Shaw. I'm pretty sure Pep would have taken Luke Shaw because if Luke Shaw was at City, I think Luke Shaw would have developed into a much more modern fullback. Like, he seems to be the best press resistant player that we have, and I always knew he had the potential, man. Because I watched him play when he was not receiving much game time under Von Hall. Even under Mourinho, when he wasn't heavily appreciated by them, and I knew this guy always had the potential. Even though he's English, I wasn't getting too carried away. I knew he had the potential in reading the game, and he was never really caught out of position. Because we've seen Luke Shaw play well this season. If Luke Shaw was at City, he would absolutely thrive over there under Pep.
I think the only thing with Luke Shaw, in fairness, is that he's battled injuries a lot. That's true. I think I would argue that probably this season is the first season when, maybe last season as well to a certain extent, but certainly this season where he hadn't been laid off for a significant amount of time with an injury, which is good because for me, Luke Shaw's had a good season this season. But
I would say for Luke Shaw, RDS, just real quick, for Luke Shaw, I do appreciate his qualities, but I would say sometimes with overlapping, he does slack a bit. He seems a bit languid. He seems because he's been playing so much counter-attacking football, but it just seems because we're on the Ole, we used to play the ball so slow, and we still do that. It's a lot of players are still tarnished by that mentality of not moving the ball quick enough. That's my issue with Shaw a little bit. He's been great when he's played. I think he's been better when he's played left centre back. To be honest, he's a better defensive fullback than going forward.
Yeah,
that's what I would say about Luke Shaw.
That's one of the things that potentially I might, if I were to do the game, you maybe argue, maybe change the date, maybe. It maybe would have been good to play Luke Shaw left side of centre back. Maybe bringing in Malassi or Dallo on that side. Would that have made a difference? I'm not entirely sure, but it would have been interesting to see because that kind of Luke Shaw and Varane partnership, even Luke Shaw and Lindelof, he's in that position. He's arguably been weirdly one of our best players in that position of left side of centre back this season. So
I'll say that.
Quickly reading,
let's say if we got John Stones then
again. Man City scored from a goal kick. I mean the only annoying thing about the games is that the manner in which we conceded both goals was just it was a bit bantery. It was come on, guys, switch on, man.
RDS. How did we let in the set? I appreciate the first volley was awesome. Yeah. I didn't blame nobody for that. Just a great moment of brilliance. But Gundogan scored two volleys. Yeah, the second one, I didn't even see that De Gea was unsighted. The ball bounced as well. De Gea could have repositioned his feet. He's got the golden gloves and he's made saves before. What was he doing on that second goal?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Bottom corner, etc. But
and
clearly they
how ruthless.
So go on, Arsi.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just saying we need to see how ruthless Ten Hag will be this summer, man. Because remember when Pep first arrived after his first season, he got rid of like so many even world class players at the time who didn't fit a system. Like
Yeah.
look what he did with Joe Hart, man. Like he absolutely
Yeah.
Joe Hart became like an unknown player after he left City, man, because of Pep.
Well, this
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but this is the thing. It's like the players that are rumored to go. I would argue. I'm not saying that Fred and Al Wan-Bissaka, for example, are world class, but it's like I can already think of a couple of players that I would let go ahead of them than those two. Like at the very least, you start with the players that are incredibly injury prone. In Martial, you get Van der Beek, who's not really involved. You start with those players first, and
I
then you
hear, I
think,
hear what you're saying, but also at the same time, because you know, when you're trying to do the foundation of your philosophy, right? We know that Ten Hag likes possession, high press, counter press. What's the foundation of that? Playing out from the back. What's the foundation of that? Your
Goalkeeper.
goalkeeper. So I do not understand why there's been news of De Gea being signed up again for another contract.
I don't.
I am not sure what Ten Hag's trying to do. I'm not sure if he's got enough power to do what he wants to do at this moment, because, like my friend was saying, Pep got rid of Joe Hart as soon ASAP.
Yeah.
Why wasn't distributing? So why are we still like messing about with De Gea? I know he's a legend, but all legends pass on. We know they all move on. Even like people like Schmeichel, who was awesome, moved on to Man City. Yeah. Why we're not moving De Gea on?
Let me just put this, like I said, King Stash, bro, play for 16 times back in. I'm not disagreeing with saying it's just that like I still think that I still feel like I can give the manager and the team legitimate criticisms. One of the other criticisms being our terrible away performance against the top 9 teams. That's again another legitimate, like whatever you say about Ollie was bad. We had somehow had one of our best away records under him. Like that's not a fluke, and that's again. I'm not saying Ollie's great or amazing. I'm just saying that like I'm not saying that this has been a terrible season. It's just that I have legitimate criticisms that I hope are not exacerbated next season, because I've seen this cycle already so many times, and my concern is that like we're in a situation where 2-3 years down the line, you've got the same incompetent boobs up top. You have the same piss poor transfer policy being linked with ridiculous players, paying high wages, leaving our transfer dealings till the end of the summer, not really integrating players and teams, not being able to move off players because of high salaries, wages, etc. And 3 years down and 2-3 seasons down the line, we're in the same situation that we are now. So it's more so much of I feel like we've been here before, and I want to temper expectations because I still see a lot of issues this season that I've seen in previous issues.
Yeah, can I just say real quickly on the back of that? I'm not so sure that this season has been like the season where Ten Hag's been allowed to really have that freedom to implement the football, because I know Ten Hag's been saying, okay, the mentality is to win every game, but then you want to win your game in the fashion of your philosophy. We've only seen like the remnants of a high press, counter press at home. Away from home, diabolical counter attack. It's just been bad. It's almost like the board should be allowing us where we can have a season where we're just trying to play the football. Like it just seems like there's been too much. There's maybe been pressure put on Ten Hag to get this top 4, to try and win these cups, but he's not doing it in his way. That would be longevity, if you know what I mean. We know that counter-attacking football, there's not real longevity. We look at people like Jose Mourinho, Conte, counter-attackers. There's a reason why they move on every few years, because you're not improving the team with counter-attacking football. Yeah, we've seen with Arteta. Yeah, he's improved that Arsenal team. They got a top 4, and then there's a reason they got into the title race, because that football was outplaying almost everyone. It's just their mentality. They need to take that to the next level. So we really need to have Ten Hag go to that Ajax philosophy, because like I said earlier, I'm not sure about Rabiot and Mount. That doesn't seem to be like a possession kind of high press formula where you're dominating games. I'm a little bit worried, man. I'm a little bit worried, guys.
Same here, man. Mount's only a good presser, but Mount's on the ball, man. Especially his passing and his ball retention. Ball retention is gonna be absolutely. It's gonna be hilarious, bro. With all rivals watching us lose the ball constantly next season if we have Mount and Bruno playing with Casemiro.
I think because obviously a lot of this conversation will be on. I'm doing a season review, probably like next week, sometime, where we like just go for the season, keep, sell, all that sort of stuff. So I think we'll probably break down a lot of these issues in that, and hopefully by then we'll have an announcement regarding the ownership. Because for me, that fundamentally that's where it stems from. I think that if suddenly now someone says, right, we have whatever you say, Qatari ownership, and suddenly now, you're going to get investments in the stadium, in the academy, in the squad, the manager team, you get a whole different, recruiting policy, scouting from top to bottom, then suddenly think, you know what, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to work, but like I can at least hope that maybe something will change. But if that doesn't happen, and you're telling me that the model, the plan is a Sir Jim investment with the Glazers, and maybe 3 or 4 years down the line, he'll take over whatever. Because I don't know anything about Sir Jim, and all I know is that he's going to put the Manchester back in Manchester United.
Yeah. Yes. Just real quickly, bro. Like we've seen what these Glazers do when they say, okay, there's a promised clause in the contract for the future. Remember what they did with Ralph, right? We said, okay, 1 season to be interim, then consultancy after, and then that just went down the shitter, yeah? I see this kind of thought of, okay, there's going to be opportunity for Sir Jim to, buy more shares and take over. That's going to go down the shitter, and he will just stay as this partial stakeholder that's like a puppet to the Glazers that will hide behind him. That's what I see, man. I can't see anything else than that.
It's not even that. Apparently, Ten Hag didn't know that Luke Shaw got a new contract. It could be Glazernomics, man. If Ten Hag is not being given the entire green light to get rid of players like De Gea, for example, because with De Gea being given a new contract, was it Ten Hag who insisted, or was it like the board who pushed
it's
for it?
difficult. It's difficult to say at this point, really. This is why I said that, like, I'm not. I want to readjust my expectation for upcoming seasons, because, like I said, I know people like, we go again, United, and we'll do this, not the players and all the rest of it. But fundamentally, as I've always said on this channel, if the structures above don't change, then all I just see is the repetition of the same cycle. Because as you rightly said, I think that it will be a question of here's the players, there you go. This is who we can sign. This is who we can sign. I have no doubt that Ten Hag wanted a Gakpo in January. Instead, he was told, no, you can only loan players. Here's Weghorst and here's Sabitzer. Sabitzer, a player who's freaking injury prone, and Weghorst was supposed to be Ronaldo's replacement. Who
is Weghorst maybe the worst player we've had like in recent times? I mean, Maguire is bad, but Weghorst, man.
Weghorst was. I would have begged Ronaldo to at least stay till the end of the season. Whatever you say about him.
As much as I dislike Ronaldo, I'd have to agree, because I didn't like when he was talking to peers. There's one thing you can't do, that's talk to that guy who we know what he's done in the media. He's been guilty of some crimes. You don't talk to peers and then undermine the manager. But I don't know. Maybe for the sake of the football, I'm saying Ronaldo stay for Weghorst.
Yeah. I can't see what, like, if you told me that was going to be the placement, and and the thing is that, again, you almost need to sign 2, because Martial was non-existent. If you actually want to be real, for most of the season, if you exclude Ronaldo, basically Rashford has been our number 9, if you think about it. Because Martial's not been available, barely. Ronaldo obviously basically dipped out and was non-existent from November because of altercations with Ten Hag. So who's been the number 9?
Yeah, Rashford.
Rashford.
We've
Yeah.
not actually had a number 9, and the fact that that's why the biggest thing for me of the link with Mount was that it was like, why are we being linked with Mount now when our priority is a striker? Like, and you're contemplating spending 70 million, potentially maybe half of the transfer budget on a player who, I'm not saying we don't need a midfielder, but the striker, a number 9, is the priority. And there isn't a cheap striker out there from what I can see. So I don't know. I don't know.
Can I just say one more point on that? Yeah, this is why I'm hoping this is hype, because really, who signs off on the deals? It is the owners at the end of the day that sanction deals and everything that goes on. I'm hoping this is just hype. Yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, it's just we need the takeover to happen where the real plan will be made, because yeah, I've said it too much. I disagree with the Mount and Rabiot links. I don't know what we're going to do with those players, guys. Yeah.
There are so many. It's a good one. There are so many good, even world classes we can get for free. Paying up Tim and for Mount is criminal. It's FFP. Yeah, I it's like I told you. I was like, if we're going to pay 70 million for Mount, you mean to tell me we couldn't pay 70 million for Caicedo or for McAllister?
Mm-hmm.
And why are we not linked with Kovacic as well? I don't get it. There's like all the technical players were avoided.
Why are we not linked with the Verratti? Verratti seems to be a great replacement.
You're mute,
bro.
There's so many ballers out there. I don't get it. Like Verratti as well, man. I've watched them play, man. I mean, for a defensive midfielder, he can carry the ball, man. Great player.
Let's see, unless this is one of those, like I said, putting the Manchester back in Manchester United. I don't know, because I'll be real. Like, one of my things of Ratcliffe ownership on this whole is that we get converted into this Brexit FC type of nonsense where we pay and overhype British players because that's what the media want, that's what Sir Jim wants, that's what the ownership model kind of wants for marketing purposes, etc. And we hope that they ball. I'm not saying there aren't talented English players, but the talented English player is Jude Bellingham. As a midfielder, that's the talented English player, Jude Bellingham, who is going to Real Madrid. And I actually wouldn't mind going for Harry Kane. I actually think Harry Kane would actually be a good signing for us. No doubt. I think he would be. But I don't see Daniel Levy selling Harry Kane to United for anything less than 180 million.
Oh, absolutely no. After what we did with Berbatov and Carrick, he has beef with us, bro.
Yeah.
Well, how many years has Kane got left in his contract, though?
He's got 1 year. He's got 1 year. No.
So what?
He's literally made it clear. He said, Daniel Levy said, I will never, ever, 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 ever sell to a rival, club rival. I don't care if he goes for free.
You see, this is where Kane has got to be doing some bully tactics. We've seen players. I mean, there wasn't the season where Kane didn't show up to training. It was like almost like he was trying to force
Eddie, knowing Harry Kane, I guess it depends on who the manager is and what Spurs achieve. But would you be surprised if he signs a new contract next season?
No, because he's been there so long and he missed the chance to be what Haaland is for Man City. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's a shame because, you know what I mean? He could break Alan Shearer's record and he's won nothing. Alan Shearer has got a Premier League medal. Yeah, not just about individual accolades. It would be a shame for Kane to do what he's done.
Give me Francesco Totti 2.0.
Kane could just be like at that point where he's resigned by the power of Levy. Levy is the kind of guy that will keep you on the ball and chain. I don't know if you heard Darren Bent was talking about how he was not allowed to leave the club for certain amounts of money. Levy is very stubborn. We know this, Exactly. So I'm not surprised if Kane will have to stay there.
No. Hey, artist, did you see the Dybala? Mega, you've been on us getting Dybala for a while. Because is he out of contract this summer as well, Dybala? I mean, to be honest, when you see what Ericsson gave us, man,
Bro, I'm taking Dybala over Ericsson tomorrow. He's got 17 goals. He's got 17 goals, 7 assists. I don't know how he's done that in a park the bus side. I don't know how he's done that.
Yeah, you take him. You take him. I can't hate. I wouldn't give him any more than 200k. But like, yeah, if for free, if his contract is for free, yeah, we need that. We need more attackers, man. Take him. Yeah. I take the baller. Yeah, take him.
Yeah, we need dribblers. He can dribble. Yeah, what? I'm so fed up, guys. Yeah, I know it's about results, but I want to enjoy the game too. And if you got players that can dribble, you're more likely to win games. I don't get why our structure is so adamant on getting players that just pass and run. No dribbling IQ. We have to rely on Garnacho. I've said it earlier on. That makes me sick, guys. I'm sorry. We need to do better, man. We need to do better. That FA Cup final today, guys. I can't believe it, man. What did we even do? I don't understand what happened today. My mind's fried, man. Oh shit.
Sorry, guys, my connection's being brickish again, so apologies. I'll probably round up in a second, actually. So, but let me just quickly read some final comments and more. Sorry, I see J2S actually. We forgot J2S. Give your thoughts on this whole thing before we round things up.
Oh yeah, how is everyone as well? Before I speak,
big up to you, but depressed, bro.
Yeah. I think everyone's just disappointed the way it's ended. It's just a disappointing note to end the season, isn't it? And we've given Man City a chance to, get the treble and equal it. So, yeah, the game today. I mean, I don't blame Ten Hag too much because he's working with absolute scraps. Like we're bringing on Weghorst and McTominay to change a game. What's that all about? And then we got De Gea. I like De Gea in net. Like the first goal, you can't do anything about it. It's amazing volley by Gundogan. But the second one, he gets a hand in it. He gets a good hand in it. He's just weak. He's got weak wrists. Did the same thing against West Ham. And we're relying on Garnacho to save us. How old is he? 19? 18 years old?
Yeah, I think he's 18. Yeah, we're relying on the kid.
Yeah, we got Sancho doing God knows what on the right and on the left. Rashford's, I think he's injured because he's been rushed back because we have no striker because Martial's injured again. Weghorst can't he's 6'5" and he can't head a ball. That makes no sense. Yeah, it's just disappointing.
Let me just quickly read a super from King Stash before I get. Thanks, King Stash, for super chat, man. Really appreciate your ongoing support for the channel. Ericsson falls asleep in big games. First was Sevilla and did it again today against the City. Ericsson has been garbage since his injury. And I can't discount that because the injury was nasty. He was out for a while. A lot of the players that were out because of injury or different things have not been good. And since that injury, like he's not been good. He hasn't been. Although I do fault some of that loss of Sevilla to Ten Hag and some of his substitutions, but it is what it is. But sorry, go on, J2S.
Yeah, but the whole Ericsson thing, like even for the second goal, Gundogan, he's free. Someone should be marking him. Like, why is he free? The supposed person that's marking him is Ericsson, but he's too slow. Like he was getting bypassed in the midfield for 60 minutes, 65 minutes. Didn't add anything to the game. Should have been subbed at half time. Did nothing on the pitch. Bruno tried his best, but nothing much. Like I think Ortega was running back, and Bruno had an opportunity to take a shot, but he passed. It's like the one chance, the one time you need to shoot, you don't shoot.
That's pure irony. I remember what you're talking about. I was pissed.
Like, he shoots. His ball retention is disgusting. He shoots. If he gets a chance to shoot, he'll shoot. But the one time you don't, and you pass it, and we lose the ball, like, what's that all about? And even when we're breaking away, he passed it out for a throw-in. We were on the counter.
Oh my god, man!
You're bringing up some mad moments, man. That just made my spine tingle. That was
Bruno can't be starting for us next season, bro. Like, I don't understand why this fan base gets gassed up about Bruno all the time, man.
If I see a Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno midfield, what is the ball retention of that midfield?
Yeah, J2S. It's not going to be. It's going to be McTominay, Ericsson, and Mount.
Oh my god!
It's gonna be McTominay.
Oh my
So
God,
is
man.
Mount's going to be the 10 or is Ericsson going to be the
It's
10?
gonna be bad for Casemiro moving from Modric and Cruz to playing with potentially Mount and Bruno.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, don't forget about Rabiot coming off the bench, maybe.
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly. Just literally only thing I'm looking forward to is looking for next season in terms of players coming. We'll see, I guess, on the signings, but I am interested to see what Ahmad will do if he gets given the chance.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing I'm seeing. Because fair play to him, he was cooking at Sunderland. I'm not saying that we can rely on him, but I would like to see, because I'll be honest, like the level on the right wing is not high right now in Anthony or Sancho. So the bar is not that high. So if Ahmad can even who is not as one-footed as Anthony is, and at least somewhat better defensively in terms of like he decides to track back sometimes compared to
And
Sancho.
very unpredictable.
And he's I don't know. You know, like we'll see what happens, but like the bar for our right side is not particularly high right now. And if Ahmad is even plays somewhat better consistently than Sancho Anthony, but as far as I'm concerned, there you go. The spot's yours. take the right hand.
What about Pellistri though? Have you considered him? Like, because like I don't see why he's not had enough time in the side. This guy's had experience, right? World Cup experience in La Liga.
I don't disagree with you. And I think, to be honest, I don't know why he didn't get a loan within January. Again, it's one of those things where you're like, you keeping these players to give depth or whatever in case players get injured, and then you use makeshift players like you put Bruno on the right or whatever. Okay, fine, but if you're not going to use them, send them out on loan. You know, so at least Ahmad has literally had that year loan experience at Sunderland, playing in a competitive championship. And in fairness, they were unlucky in the semi-final playoff. So now you're thinking, okay, this guy, if he bulks up a little bit, does well in preseason, this guy could at the very least be an impact player, just like Garnacho was, and see what happens. But Pellistri, he's not had that. He's had 1 or 2 starts, and that's it. Well, not even starts, 1 or 2 cameo performances, and that's it. So for me, he needs to come off the bench. So I just
need to go off the bench hardly anyway. He's just there for numbers. Like
exactly.
What's the point? Like if you can play Bruno on the right, why is Pellistri can do any worse? Bruno's ineffective. Sancho's ineffective.
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony's ineffective as well. They're all ineffective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, can I ask you guys real quick, yeah? Because people have said, with Bruno getting moved around, yeah, I've heard people say, okay, this guy's dynamic enough, versatile enough to play extra positions. That's why he's moved around. But in my opinion, if that's my captain and he's the best attacking mid, you don't move him from his best position. I don't understand why he moved onto the right wing if he's supposed to be the best attacking mid. I don't think Bruno's the guy. We need to upgrade on our captain again. We've just gone through bullshit with Maguire, and now we're doing it with Bruno.
People are too emotional with Bruno because he gave us some good, like, those good 2 years when we brought him, because he was like, oh, under Ollie, he was the saving line, all that kind of stuff. So people are still attached to that. He used to score, 21 goals, 15 assists, that's all dried up. He's got, 8 goals, 8 assists this season.
And people try comparing him with Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, people say he's created the most chances, and it's like, you've got to look at the eye test, though. What's the quality of these chances? Because I could just pass someone the ball and then they have to dribble past the players. It's like,
KDB is a much more intelligent player. The amount of times this season, and I don't know why I've noticed it more this season than any other season, that our players just decided to be unintelligent, not look for the pass, and just shoot out of nowhere. Maybe they were doing it in previous seasons, but I don't know, was it this season where I'm like, why is Bruno shooting from there? Why is Ante shooting from there?
Yeah, Bruno's always done that. Bruno's always done that. If he gets an opportunity, he'll just shoot anyone on the pitch. He doesn't care.
I would say, guys, it's still a kind of a hangover from Ole, because we were seeing that last season. Dallo was doing the same thing, shooting from right back. What are you doing shooting from right back? I don't get that. People trying to have the glory for themselves. It seems like they need another boot camp to be disciplined, man. Like this.
One thing. Samasi, shout out to Samasi and shout obviously Bayern won their league again. 40 million for Dybala. He has a release clause of
Yeah.
40 million. Yeah, but yeah, go get it, man. Go get it.
Do
Get it.
it.
They're not going to
Do
get
it.
him.
But they're not. You're right. Transition football is unsustainable. It's why so many players get injured.
Exactly.
Says Keep Stash. As number 2 Pep hater, this is the most depressing season. Into you're the only. I swear to God, if Lukaku dunks on Pep in the final, I don't actually know what I'll do. I might wear a Liverpool shirt. That's the thing. That's the thing. I might stream in a Liverpool shirt.
I'm gonna rub it in front of. I'm gonna rub
Oh.
it in front of Hamza. You know what? Are you aware of Hamza RDS, that City fan?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Professor
that
Hamza.
guy.
Yes. If
Just
that
real
happens,
quick, RDS. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have the honor of doing what you want to do, because we've seen Lukaku. Yeah, we've seen what he's trying to get with Meg the Stallion. She's gonna drain him of his energy that he needs for the occasion. So I think it's done. It's done.
it might be inspiring. Maybe she inspires him. All I'm saying is that, like, if he and somehow, if I'd also big up what's his name, Inzaghi, because I feel Inzaghi has done a fantastic job of Inter. So because you never know in a final, but the way that City have just played in the last, since essentially February towards the end of the season, they've just looked professional. You know, they are the best team in Europe. They took apart Arsenal. They took apart Madrid. They took apart Bayern. They essentially dominated United. Like, I don't see how Inter Milan, unless by some miracle, Inzaghi comes up with something. And I just don't see how that happens, unfortunately.
It's gotta be a miracle. That
Where is Sancho on the Dele Alli curve? Oh, I don't
Just
know
behind
about
him.
that. It potentially is getting there. It potentially is getting there, man. It's potentially is getting there.
We'll
Albert says
want to see Sancho in Turkey in 3 years.
he'll go
we will.
to another Premier League club before Turkey. I think he'll go to West Ham or Everton first, and then like Dele Alli did. So he went to, because Dele Alli went to Spurs to Everton, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did, yeah. And then from there he went to Turkey. So yeah, I think that's what he'll do. He'll go to or Bournemouth. Who knows? Jack Butler and David De Gea. Bro, Zidane Iqbal would have been better than Eriksen today. I mean,
can we talk about this, please? What's happened to Zidane Iqbal? Because I thought he had a good preseason. Like,
but again,
I don't.
Criticisms again to Ten Hag, which again we criticize for. I'm not saying that you can just throw in youngsters and do something. I'm not saying that. However, there have been times where I'm like, okay, I don't really get, like, for example, the game against Fulham. We didn't need, we already, what were we playing for? We didn't need to play a strongish team. Why couldn't you give the youngsters a run out on that game? Whether it's third or fourth, it's not going to make a difference. But you played an arguably strong team, and Marshall ended up getting injured. You know, so there'll be certain.
Is Zidane Iqbal in the team? Is he in the team, or is he on loan?
I don't think he went out on loan, did he? In January? I don't think he was one of the ones that went out on loan.
Is he still in the youth team?
Yeah, he's on the team.
He should still be in the youth team. I don't think he went out on loan.
He's in the first team.
I don't think he's been loaned out. No.
This makes no sense, because Ten Hag was known for doing this at Ajax of all teams, because they breed youngsters every single season, but we don't do it.
I was just going to say that, JT West. I mean, look at the sides. I think they had like one of the youngest captains when they were representing in the Champions League with like De Ligt.
To be honest,
all the young players, yeah.
To be honest, LVG it's been the last one that's done it. Since LVG, Mourinho, even Oli, and like, we haven't really seen this kind of breeding through the youngsters, aside from the annual one who gets a out.
And even the ones we do breed through, they're rubbish. Alanga and McTominay. That's what we've brought out the youth team.
I mean, we had a certain player who arguably could have actually done something today, but we're not going to talk about him.
So come back next season, you know.
Well,
He's not.
I
He's
mean,
not been proven
people,
guilty.
people don't have the conversation, but if we can't do anything this summer transfer window in terms of tax forwards, I wouldn't be surprised if Ten Hag says, "Listen, I need players, and I know this isn't going to go down well, but what do you expect me to do if you're not going to get me a striker or attacker or midfielder? Like, what's going to happen? You know." So
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, and as much as I think that the guy shouldn't play for United again, just because of for his own sake benefits, he needs a new start.
I would say this though, RDS, yeah, because I'm not comfortable with like the evidence that did come out. Like the audio recording is damning, yeah. But in the official courts of law, not been found guilty. So there maybe should be a chance for him to come back for United.
Yeah, I think
desperate times.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the debate, but I think because it's because I know the media storm and stuff like that will be around him. So all I'll just say about it is that like a lot of this will be dependent on the summer transfer window, and if at the end of the day we're not doing it, if we're not getting anything, I wouldn't be surprised if Ten Hag says, "Listen, let's try and integrate this guy back into the team," because arguably he has been our most talented youth product in a while. He was our most talented youth product, and to be honest, he probably would have done something today. As a coming on, he probably would have done something today.
According to Ole, best finisher at the club. Fantastic. That's what he was saying. So I would say just the last point on Greenwood, if the players around him can respect him, this is what is the main issue. Because we know the rival fans are going to talk shit. They're going to do all the chants. But if his team has his back and respects that he is innocent, officially, because that's what it is, then okay, let's try and integrate him back in then. That's what I say, because I'm sorry. Weghorst, Martial today makes us desperate. We need some talent, no matter what. That's what I'm saying. Any means necessary.
Any means necessary. Okay, so obviously shout out to I think there's Lock Stock and Lucky Singh. You both have the same Avi, so I'm a bit confused by you guys. So you're not the same person clearly, but you have the same error. So reading your comments, Samasi does say most of the squad is just not good enough. Peace out, RSV. By the way, take care, mates. So I'm just going to round things up because we are going to probably break a lot of these things down. I know people talking about. What does it say? People forget the last player in team scored an open goal for United City or knockout was Lukaku. That is true.
Really?
Oh yeah, was that against Sevilla in the round of 16?
No, it was against PSG, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was
PSG. Yeah, it was against PSG. Yeah, against Buffon. Well, two actually, because they were both from open play, weren't they? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
that's embarrassing.
What I would say though is Lukaku, if you can do that against City somehow, if you can summon the spirit of Paris against City, from what Megan, whatever, please just do something. Do something, Lukaku, please, man. Right. Yeah. So like I said, we'll start round things up, guys, because we'll probably break down a lot of this stuff on the season review stream, keep by ourselves, that type of sort of thing. But final thoughts from you, Eddie, from you, J2S. Make sure you like the vid as well, by the way, guys, who are watching. Where do we go from here, man?
Right. So basically, we know, because it's kind of a little bit frustrating that us as fans, a lot of us fans know better than what the Glazers know, right? We know they have to go. Okay, I don't see any kind of silver lining with the Glazers getting into bed with Sir Jim. I don't see Sir Jim having the power. We heard that even though the Glazers have minority shares, their shares are worth more with the voting power, even if it's less shares. I don't get how they're doing that. So what's the point of anyone coming into business with them? Still going to be the same structure, still the same clueless guys doing what they need to do. Yeah, so it's got to be the Qataris that come in and, if they're sure, they are. Because we've seen with that World Cup that they were hosting, they're interested in actual football. that was one of the best World Cups I've watched. Yeah. So
Mm.
you know, these Qataris that are coming surely are linked with that kind of culture of actually believing in football, putting the money in, and renovating everything. Yeah, we've seen the stadiums poor, all that kind of stuff. We need money for the transfers. So my final thing is that, you know, after this FA Cup, the Glazers must see that the fans, they're not going to stand too much longer for this kind of stuff. There's probably going to be riots if they stay. Yeah, the takeover has to happen now. That's it, new structure. Because I'm fed up of signings like Maguire being linked with Mount, Rabiot, all these guys that can't dribble, can't do things technically. We need to move away from the pragmatic football. So yeah, new owners in the Qataris. That's that's the only savior I see.
Yeah.
This is sorry. One thing before I go to us,
Oh my god.
because we were linked with Arnautovic, but would Arnautovic have been better than Weghorst? Yeah, actually, to be honest, he would have.
He did.
Yeah, he
pretty
actually would have.
He did pretty decent Serie A this season, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
Weghorst did Turkish league, and that's it.
And
yeah,
also,
with Arnautovic,
he's
I
on
reckon
loan from
obviously
Championship
better, yeah,
Burnley. That's what people forget. Like, he was a Championship loanee. He was on loan from the Championship to was it Besiktas?
Yeah, Besiktas in Turkey.
I'll just say this, guys, real quick. Yeah, big thing is that I heard some of some racial abuse that he's done to players in the past. That's
that is true.
Turned me off.
He does
So
have a
I
bit of
don't want this kind of guy.
He does have a bit of a history.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Obviously, that's fair enough. Weghorst. Okay. Yes, that's true. He did dunk on Messi's Argentina. He did do that. I thought that's what we were going to get. Unfortunately, we didn't get that at all at Manchester United. You know. J Twist, man. Yeah, where do United go from here, man?
Yeah, it all depends on new ownership, because if we don't get the right owners, this is going to be continuing. The last 10 years that we've seen, this is going to continue, because Ten Hag, if the Glazers stay for next season, or they got Jim Ratcliffe and he doesn't get backed, he could potentially get sacked next season, because we know they're like a Champions League. Because if they don't get Champions League and there's no trophies to get us into European football, they will sack him. So it's all dependent on new ownership, because this squad needs, like Rangnick said it last year, and he got a lot of hate for it. It needs open heart surgery, because there's so many players in the squad that are not up to the standard of what Man United could be or potentially be in the past. Because what we're relying on Rashford's, the Sancho needs to go, Maguire's.
And if you want to, and sorry to interrupt you, Joseph, you want to keep a stack. I'm not saying that we wouldn't have been third, but the reality is that, like, if Liverpool and Chelsea and Spurs didn't have an off season this season, we would have been in trouble, because no one expected Arsenal to be as good as they were this season. No one definitely didn't expect Newcastle to be ahead of schedule. So if you're going to go into next season where Liverpool have an entirely different midfield that are playing ball, Chelsea somehow figure themselves out. I don't think they will under Poch, but I could be wrong. Yeah. And then obviously Spurs. Well, actually, I think Spurs are still a mess, so I don't think they will. So, but you know, with whoever they sort of get, But you know, that's still 6, maybe 7 teams when you think of like the Brightons and so forth that might sort of step up. If United don't get it right this summer, yes, we could easily not make top 4 next season. Easily we couldn't with the current squad that we have. But yeah, sorry,
because other teams aren't going to stand still, because you're going to see Man City go to improve. They're going to go in the transfer market. Newcastle improve. Arsenal looking to improve. You got your Brightons and your Aston Villas that you never know. Who knows what a promoted team can do, because we've seen Fulham, what they've done, and all that kind of stuff. You just never know, because if we don't get the summer right, we're going to go backwards.
Yeah.
Like we've made so many steps forward this season. It's been a decent season for a first manager. It's probably the best we've had for a manager's first year. If we sign likes of a Mount, we get a Rabiot and a free, we're just going to stand still and go backwards, because Liverpool will catch up. Chelsea, we give these other teams an opportunity to catch up to us, because this is what we did in the Mourinho. Came second place. We brought DeLone, Fred, and Lee Grant, the third goalkeeper. Where did we go? Went back to 6th place. Just we're yo-yo, up and down. So if we get Qataris, then you can be more optimistic, because they have a proven track record. Well, especially Middle Eastern people, they have a proven track record in football that they will do stuff right. Jim Ratcliffe at Nice. The Nice fans want him out.
I always just find it weird why people are like, oh, the Qataris have failed at PSG. How? By winning the league every season effectively. How is that failure?
Yeah, they've
Like I don't
monopolized the
understand.
league. They're the most
They
successful league team in France now.
yeah.
And PSG have got to a final. I know, they were against Bayern Munich. They were unlucky
Yeah,
to
like,
lose that. Neymar was missing some big chances, so they've been
and
competing in Champions League.
even look at the teams they've gone out to. They've gone out to like the prime Barcelona, the prime Real Madrid's, like Bayern Munich's. Like they haven't got like Man United are probably the only one that's like a bit like because that Man United team was a bunch of youngsters. That was like Chong and God knows what else was on that pitch.
That was banter to them, really, so to speak. Well, and also you can make an argument that Miracle Company was pretty bad as well, and those are probably the two greatest.
Yeah, but you had the likes of Neymar, Messi on that pitch, so you never know with that. Like, you put a blame on them, but some of the teams have gone out to, it's not exactly a failure. Like they got to the Champions League final. That's
no, exactly.
They were up and down in the Champions League. Like they never got that far.
No, exactly. So I just find it's weird that the definition of unsuccessful is winning your league and getting to Champions League finals. But apparently, so Jim, if you can't qualify for the Champions League and you basically you've essentially become an irrelevant football club, that's seen as success. Because anyway, I'm not going to go on a rant because I'm going to get Tom on 2 days, tomorrow, the day after, we're going to see where we are, but I suspect that it's not going to be good news.
but we need closure, though. That's the thing for me. I'm fed up of just talking about
it. Did you see Avram Glaze at the stadium today when they panned him on the TV? I was like, this guy.
Let's not
even when we scored the goal, he didn't show any emotion. Like you could tell they don't care.
Yeah, of course they don't care.
Apparently, you know what the offside rule is still.
Yeah, of course he doesn't care. That's why it was weird seeing him there. I mean, I know he was at the Carabao Cup final, so that's the
I was just going to say
he was there.
Yeah, RDS. I just got to say real quick, I thought I was pessimistic when I saw the likes of Avram like shaking hands with Maguire when we were trying to lift that Carabao Cup. I was like, these guys shouldn't be there. Maguire, mistake prone, false captain. We know what Avram's about, parasitic, and they were, getting drunk off the success of the team despite them. That's all wrong, man.
Yeah,
it makes me sick.
No, I agree, man. I agree. Right, guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. It's late where I am now, but I think we're gonna have to just enjoy the rest of the off season and just hope and pray that somehow, some way, Lukaku can save us. Because if not, we're not going to hear the end of it. We are not going to hear the end of it from time. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to it. And also make sure you head over and subscribe to Eddie's Football Waffles channel as well. Big up Eddie, big up J2 Westman. Appreciate you guys. And we're doing some more joint stuff soon. Have a nice day, everyone. And cheers. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
Peace.